Joining me right now is the play-by-play voice of Upper Iowa football, Joe Stasi. And Joe, before we get into the breakdown on the St. Cloud State Huskies, the opponent for the Peacocks on Saturday, let's go back and recap the loss to Bemidji State on the 1st of September. What happened in that game?
Well, you know what, first of all, Elwin, thanks, as always, for giving Upper Iowa the just due that we deserve. And I don't say that like I'm entitled to talk about Upper Iowa football, but I know that, they advertise on some stations that you guys broadcast on, obviously, where AM 950 KOEL is where the play-by-play originates. And it's so much fun to talk about how Upper Iowa has been and has had the distinction of being the only NCAA Division II athletic program in the state over the past 13, 14 years. Now, all programs, including football, not only are the only NCAA Division II and have that distinction, we act like it, look like it on the field and in the classroom. Just real proud of what Upper Iowa University has evolved into on campus, and of course all their other campuses as well. But Upper Iowa started the 8th season under head coach Tom Shea, and he has turned this football program around the last 3 years in a row, 6 and 5 seasons, and you have to go all the way back to 1960, late 1960s, 66, 68, to have the success that this program is experiencing now. And the cool thing is we're doing it at the Division II level. We went on the road to take on Bemidji State. Bemidji State was a squad that is a squad that is a perennial power in the NSIC North Division, the Northern Sun North Division. They finished the season 7 and 5 last year, and were co-champions, tied with 2 other squads up there, Northern State and Duluth, for the championship in the North Division. They brought back 11 players on offense, including 2 All-Americans, one their quarterback, Jordan Hine, his brother off on the offensive line, an All-American, 9 starters back on defense, and we went up there with a chance to win and play a pretty poor first half of football defensively, missed tackles on the offensive side of things. We didn't really get the ball moving much in the first half. Second half came out against Bemidji State and made a football game of it. We were down 30-10 at halftime, came back, got within 6 in the fourth quarter, and just some costly errors at key times of the game. We moved the football, we got it inside the red zone twice, even inside the 5-yard line, and weren't able to punch it in, coughed up a fumble, turned it over, and then just a combination of some outside containment issues with our defense. We did lose some linebackers last year on the defensive side of the ball, and we're trying to get some younger guys in there and some guys with experience that overall did a good job. But just gave up the big play, and it spelled a 38-24 loss.
And St. Cloud State now coming off a loss as well on September 1st as they dropped their season opener 49-13 to Sioux Falls. This is a team that Upper Iowa has not faced in 2 years, but the last time they played in 2014, it was a game that went right down to the wire. Upper Iowa pulled out a win with 5 seconds left in that contest. Do you expect a similar ball game on Saturday?
You know, these two teams, like you said, the history where Upper Iowa has 2 wins, I believe, in 5 tries, and one of those wins was way back in the 40s when they played way back in the day. I do expect a good game. St. Cloud State last year, again, they finished 6 and 5, 4 and 3 in the NSIC overall, and then the NSIC North 4 and 3, tied for 7th overall out of 16 teams in the conference there. It's a huge school. I mean, if you know anything about St. Cloud State, you're talking 13, 14, 15,000 kids enrollment. You kind of, if you match up the numbers, you put it next to Upper Iowa, and Upper Iowa's in between 900 and 1,000 on campus, and it just kind of makes your head spin. It's like, what are we doing playing this? These kind of schools, but Upper Iowa has done it, as I said, in all sports, and in football, Tom Shea has this team believing. And before the last 3 seasons, Upper Iowa was a program that would have to play all their freshmen and use up a lot of kids and didn't have a lot of depth at positions. And just over the years, Upper Iowa has matched up and can go head-to-head with anybody. So, St. Cloud lost their first game of the season to a really, really good ranked University of Sioux Falls team. It was a 7-point game at halftime. They ended up losing 49-13, I believe. But St. Cloud brings back a lot of its key positions on offense. Nate Meyer, and a wide receiver. He's an All-American, preseason All-American, and finished last year as an All-American. Jamison Parsons. He's a big 6'2", 195-pound, just a stud athlete. I would imagine he'll be picked up by somebody in NFL training camps. He's that good. And Jaden Huff is one of their running backs. So they bring back some All-Americans on the offensive side of the ball. I believe 7 or 8 starters on that side of the ball, and then defensively, they're led by some just absolute stud linebackers that really contain the run. So it'll be a great ball game, and again, as you mentioned, it's the home opener at Harms-Eichscheid Stadium this Saturday afternoon. Going to be all kinds of great things. It's Educator Appreciation and Youth Day. All kids are admitted free. And the gates open at 11:30 at Harms-Eichscheid Stadium on campus at Upper Iowa. The Iowa National Guard is going to be there with activities for kids and adults, and along with Upper Iowa's Pete the Peacock's going to be out there taking photos and signing autographs for the kids, and Upper Iowa's having a home run derby fundraiser. So all kinds of great stuff Saturday afternoon at St. Cloud State. It really, as you know, Elwin, you get to you're the PA announcer for the Wartburg games, and that's high-quality Division III football. I remember playing it back in the day. It is a sight to see in the new Harms-Eichscheid facility, $7.5 million. It really does look like big-time college football. It is small college football, but at the NCAA Division II level, if you haven't been out to see it, you owe it to yourself to short drive up to Fayette to check out what Upper Iowa has in store this Saturday afternoon.
It's a 1:07 p.m. kickoff, pregame starting at 12:35 here on AM 950 KOEL. And you look at this matchup, most coaches will tell you that teams make the most improvement from week 1 to week 2. Now, both teams played on September 1st, so the days off are more of a wash here. Upper Iowa, how much do you think that they've developed here in the last 10 days or so leading up to this game?
You know, I talked with head coach Tom Shea early in the week. Offensively, they just need to get their timing down. It was the first game of the season for both squads last week, Bemidji and Upper Iowa. It just seemed like Dimitri Morales, our returning quarterback, a senior, was on his way to an All-American season last year, lost in that Game 7 against Winona in a win over Winona. He was just a little bit off in timing. I think the tempo of the offense just needs to get down, get everybody on the same page. You can't turn the football over. You got to hang on to that football, and if you protect the football, pick up some, 3, 4, 5 yards, 4 or 5 yards, preferably on first down, and just move the chains and finish off drives in the red zone. I think is what Upper Iowa really needs to work on. So again, on that side of the football, protect the football. When you get in the red zone, score. If field goals are nice, but touchdowns are what you're after. Protect that football. Again, we coughed it up 4 times. We only lost 1, but we did throw a costly interception as well in the red zone, turn it over twice there. And then, you know what, Ellen? It comes down. Football sometimes is everybody gets the X's and O's and gets all these schemes and overcomplicate things. It's tackling. And Upper Iowa really needs to contain St. Cloud's veteran quarterback. He'll get out. And after watching Nate Myers, his name, after you get out and look at the film, and they've been looking at it all week, I'm sure they know Upper Iowa has some containment issues on the outside. So if we keep the quarterback contained, make him throw the football a little bit more one-dimensional, if we take away their run, take away his outside, I think Upper Iowa is in for a fun afternoon.
Should be an outstanding matchup here coming up on Saturday. Again, pregame coverage starting at 12:35. Kickoff at 1:00.